gentlemen, welcome back to Morning Recharge. Today we're starting off sitting in traffic. Yay.
Yay.
Anyway.
Egg catching time.
I wish. Alright, so quick off-topic thing. Have you heard that they're rolling out the new update?
Yes,
for
I
the
know,
system?
and iOS still hasn't started yet. I'm on Reddit. I'm following the Silk Road. They're letting us. They have a thread right there talking about when the update is coming out for iOS. When somebody in iOS gets it, everybody's gonna start going for it. It's not there yet.
It's just not there yet.
So, I just want my buddy feature, so I can actually evolve my starter. That's all I want.
Speaking of Silk Road, they've also found a new Easter egg. If you're walking,
you're walking
at you.
Yeah,
After 10 kilometers, it pops up on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. Anyway, sorry, that was just totally reminding me of that.
Yeah.
Random
Well,
aside.
by the time we record the next video, we're probably gonna be talking more into that because maybe we're gonna have it by then. So,
Hopefully.
I hate you, Android people. First time I'm actually jealous. But we're getting Mario, so shut up.
All right.
Anyways, it's a fun intro.
That's one hell of an intro. Before I talk about movies and stuff.
Anyways, you like Deadpool, right?
Deadpool's pretty cool, yeah.
You like the movie?
Yeah.
Would you say it's like your favorite of the year?
It's up
You
there
know,
with my favorite
movie made like more than Guardians of the Galaxy at the box office, so
Yeah, that one.
pretty big success and all that.
And what does Hollywood do with success?
Well, yeah, they're gonna make sequels, and you know, they're gonna start filming early next year, and have the movie out by sometime in 2018.
Alright. That's pretty cool.
So you cannot release the movie just in the summer because it's kind of crowded. You don't want your movie to get run out. Plus, movie did shit tons of money in February.
Yeah.
However,
You can't really release in December either because that's when Star Wars is coming out, and you don't want to be competing with
you
Star
never
Wars.
want to compete, especially because next year's Star Wars is episode 8.
Yeah.
And you don't want to compete with.
You do
You,
not
do,
wanna-
you don't want to compete with spin-off Star Wars. You definitely don't want to compete with episodes, main story Star Wars. So it's a bad idea.
It's just terrible.
But it's also a bad idea to put your movie very close to another Marvel movie.
Oh boy.
This being Black Panther.
Oh no.
And spoilers ahead
Wait,
for.
do we even know anything about the Black Panther movie?
Yeah, it's got the director. They have pretty much everything set.
I guess I just haven't been doing my research.
Yeah. Spoilers for Captain America: Civil War. If you haven't seen it yet, let's go see it. It's on Blu-ray and digital. So just watch
Shut
it.
up!
Just
At
watch
this
it.
point, if you haven't seen it, it's
Just
your
watch it.
fucking fault.
Just watch it. Okay.
Fuck you if you haven't watched it.
Anyway.
It's your fault. Fault. Fuck.
Fault.
It's Monday morning. I can flip words. Shut up.
So, it's kind of obvious, you know, you see the end of Civil War and you're like, well, Cap and Bucky are probably going to be a big part of the story, right? Since they're in Wakanda.
Right.
So, how big would a movie with Captain America, a literal Captain America 3 with Black Panther be like? Against the Merc with the Mouth with Cable.
My honest response to that, and I'm biased, and I'll willingly admit that, I'd go see the Merc with a Mouth instead of the Black Panther one.
I'm gonna see both. I don't care. I mean, me personally,
All
I
I'm
love
saying
both.
is, if they're gonna come out like within
Holy
the same week,
Shit. Give me a sec.
they don't need to know about it.
Excellent. So, I mean, I'm gonna watch both movies because I like the character of I've liked the character of Captain America and Black Panther and the Winter Soldier,
Right.
and I'm gonna watch Deadpool too because it's Deadpool.
It's Deadpool.
It's Deadpool. It's
You're
like,
gonna watch it. It's Deadpool.
It's like a Spider-Man movie. It's like I'm just gonna watch it because it's Batman. It's Spider. I'm just gonna watch it because it is.
It's a badass dude in a latex suit. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a woman, but most of the time it's a badass dude in a latex suit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Fox is gonna move the date because Marvel ain't gonna move it.
No. Marvel's pretty locked in on their release dates.
Yeah. That also puts it in contention because not only does Black Panther come out in February of that year, Infinity War comes out in May of that year too.
Oh, Jesus.
Deadpool's gonna have some competition.
He's gonna be sandwiched between Marvel. Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still gonna make, almost $1 billion, but although I don't know how well they can, because the first one they will trick a lot of.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that the second one will end up making less money. Mainly because in this outing, people didn't realize or didn't care that it was R-rated. It's like, oh, it's gonna be just an R-rated. It's probably some blood and violence, right?
Yeah.
I didn't expect the sex.
It's not all the sex.
So I don't think
Tiny hand.
parents are stupid. Never mind. Parents are
Parents
stupid
are
enough.
absolutely
never
stupid enough to
mind.
What I
Okay.
was going for was the advertising made Deadpool look like a love story for Valentine's Day, because it was a Valentine's Day release. So a lot of girls agreed to go watch Deadpool without realizing what it was. So a lot of boyfriends got their dates and their wives and whatever to go to the movies with them.
Technically, it was a love story.
Technically, it was a love story.
It was a very well done love story too. About that.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't realize until after I finished watching the movie.
Yes,
that
like,
was a love
you,
story.
like you're gonna think about it.
You don't think about the love story. You're like, oh fuck yeah, Deadpool. And then you walk out, it's like, shit, that was a Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna have that to go for them. A lot of idiot parents aren't gonna be able to, well, most of the idiot parents are gonna be tricked, but there's gonna be a few that are gonna go like, hey, I remember what you did with Deadpool 1. I'm not kidding you, Deadpool 2. So they're gonna miss out on both of those two lucky coincidences. Now, maybe I'm talking out my ass. Maybe, it did all right regardless of those two things. Maybe that was a really small percentage of moviegoers.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe there's a lot of people that just really like Deadpool and they went to go check out Deadpool because they knew what it was.
Yep. And I don't know.
But
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
mean,
tough.
More of what was the actress that played Vanessa? More of her is always welcome. I
Okay.
forgot her name. Fuck.
Shit. I don't know her name. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to something. So I found a story somewhere. These are rumors, so take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
That Fox and Marvel, they're always a nice topic to talk about. They're actually in their best relations yet.
I mean, Fox isn't gonna give back Marvel any of his
And think about it this way: Deadpool had a helicarrier, and Marvel didn't give a crap.
Can I say real quick? When we went to go see that movie the first time,
Yeah, I was very
I
reluctant.
said, hey, look, it's the helicarrier. You're like, is it? I'm like, dude, it's the fucking helicarrier crashed on its side. Yeah.
I didn't want to see it.
You
But
fucking
it is.
idiot.
Okay, I admit it. I was an idiot.
No,
But it is saying, okay.
You denied it so vehemently. I remember being pissed at you, like, dude, it's right there. How do you not see it?
What's a helicarrier?
What is a helicarrier?
Anyways, so there's a helicarrier in that, right? And Marvel didn't do anything because usually Marvel would be very kind of strong against that. And
They go like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're using our stuff. Give us money for it.
Exactly. So, given that the relationships are better now, and they're working on the TV show with Legion and all that, saying that because X-Men Apocalypse didn't really do as nearly as well as Days of Future Past did,
Alright.
which is really bad because they're supposed to go up, not down.
I mean,
in profits.
sometimes your movies flop. Sometimes, they do great. You never know.
But it was like.
But when everyone's saying that, hey, Apocalypse is gonna be shit before it's even out, then you know that you're gonna flop.
Yeah, I mean, Apocalypse ended up being a pretty divisive movie, and I enjoyed it, but I can see why some people didn't like it. But because of that, apparently they're talking with Marvel, and Marvel's like, "Tell you what, we'll help you. We will help you make the X-Men great again. We will help you plan out an X-Men universe, not connected to our own, where you could just make the characters shine, and you can spin off of that, pretty much make, and a bubble MCU, right, for X-Men.
Just for the X-Men.
Yeah.
I imagine if they're gonna have
Yeah.
Marvel working on that, they're gonna throw in references to other movies.
Yeah, like it's gonna
Like
be
subtle ones.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
They're gonna be in there.
Like the helicarrier.
Like the helicarrier, yeah.
But in exchange, give us a Fantastic Four back.
And that was making good
And
Fantastic Four movie.
everything that comes along with it. See, because at this point, the Fantastic Four is kind of poison
Yeah, it's-
of superhero movies. Like, you don't really want to do a Fantastic Four.
I don't remember the last time they made a good Fantastic Four movie.
It's never.
Exactly.
But if you take out what's good about the Fantastic Four rights, which is Doctor Doom, Surfer, Galactus,
Doctor Doom movie.
and do that, not even that, use those as parts of the MCU, then you can later on do a Fantastic Four movie.
Right.
Marvel can benefit from this, and Fox is going to benefit from this because now they're going to have great X-Men movies. And Marvel's going to have great villains to follow up Thanos.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be pretty cool. Because, you know, what do you do after you've done Thanos? You don't have a whole lot. You keep going up on the power scale, and all of a sudden you're fighting literal gods, and men like Tony Stark are no longer useful. But then they discover an ancient fucking bullshit weapon that can only be used by the one, and it happens to be the smartest man on earth, and blah 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 hero shit. That's how it always goes. So it goes.
Anyways, right, we're also, I think we're about to see the Celestials in one of the next movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if Thor or Guardians we're going to start seeing them.
Ooh, it'd be pretty sweet if. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
If we could see a Celestial in the next Guardians, that would, because, you know, they live in space, hence the name. So it'd be pretty sweet to, like, even if, like, they got mentioned, right? There was a quick, like, flash about them. That would be pretty sweet. Because, I mean, they exist in all the universe, they just never really talked about it in the movies.
Yeah. I think that would be a pretty good partnership. It is a pretty good trade, you know. Plus, I mean, Marvel doesn't want Fox to do bad.
We'll do your work for you if you give us the ability to do later work. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Fox, like, they have to do nothing and they'll make a lot of money. To take that, you idiots.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's the thing: is that if Fox does bad with their movies, people also don't want to watch Marvel movies. So I mean, they kind of need to coexist in this kind of harmony with each other.
Right.
Because if one does bad, the other one's also gonna do bad.
Right.
Like, look how Batman v Superman, because of such sour taste that it left in a lot of people. They don't want to go see Civil War because, oh, it's the same thing.
It's not at all the same thing.
It's not all the same thing once you see it.
Yeah.
But, you know, most people that don't really know the differences
mainstream
are like,
media
yeah, it's
or
kind of like, yeah, it's
all
the same.
idiots for the most
This
part?
was shit. I don't really want to see this
Yep.
one.
Right.
Because I swear, Civil War could have done much more money had it not been for Batman v
I
Superman.
have the same answer to that as I do to the, parents taking their kids to go see Deadpool. Do some research. Before you make a decision to go see or not to go see a movie, do some research. A quick Google search of the title is going to be enough to give you an idea of what it's going to be.
It gives you the rating and why it gets that rating and all that.
It's like, that goes for both, oh, it's just a clone of this movie that I didn't like. Well, I mean, no, it's not. Or then, oh, it's going to be a happy little kids movie.
Well,
Well,
granted, the synopsis for BVS and Civil War are pretty similar.
I mean, are they though?
They are. Plays
Rich billionaire with daddy problems fights superhuman mutant thing.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, I can see
Yeah,
that.
they're pretty much the same, and they're all through laws that protect people because superheroes don't do much damage. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're pretty much right. How did DC go so wrong and Marvel did it so right?
Because they got Spider-Man.
You're so... yeah.
He was.
I mean, yeah, he was the saving grace of that movie. Also, totally not the Russian Slav supervillain that totally could have been anyone that I knew from back home. I'll get to that later. Don't worry about it.
Let's see about. Anyways,
What else we got?
so I want to touch on something. I didn't like when I mentioned it to you. I don't think you were too happy about it.
Oh yeah, this.
That we're getting we got Jurassic World last year, and now we're getting an entire Jurassic World Trilogy.
So they're not only are they rebooting the old series, they're rebooting the entire series. Remember, there's
Yep.
being Jurassic Parks 1, 2, and 3.
It's a sequel reboot, really.
Yeah, well, It's a franchise reboot, is what I'm calling it, because alright, Jurassic World was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was a little action-y at some points, where, Jurassic Park was a bit more thriller. But I'm okay with that. I'll let that slide, because Chris Pratt and dinosaurs. I don't think it needed a sequel, let alone 2. Like, I like the movie. I don't think they wrapped it up nicely. They basically said, here's the movie, thanks for your money. That's that, we're done. They don't need to make sequels. At least in my opinion. Because what are they going to do? Revisit the island?
Yeah, they're going to recreate the entire trilogy again.
Yeah, that's going to be exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go revisit the island.
However, I kind of feel like this new trilogy worked out really well. Because, well, the first one was pretty good. The second one is being directed by J.A. Bayona, who is a Spanish director, and he directed Impossible and The Orphanage, and just finished A Monster Calls, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, which are all just amazing movies. So if he can just bring that sort of his artistic style into Jurassic World and his storytelling into the Jurassic World, he could actually be pretty great.
Right.
I mean, I feel it could be pretty good. And
this very well could also just be a case of Hollywood going, hey, we need more money, make a sequel of that thing that made a lot of money.
Jurassic World made more money than the Avengers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it was going to happen.
It's Hollywood going, hey, we like money, give us more, make a sequel. So, I don't know.
It's gonna be intense.
I mean, yeah.
I like it. I like more Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is one hell of a man, one hell of an actor, and he's good in pretty much everything he does. Everything from was it Office or was it Community?
The Office.
Office.
No, The Office. No, it's not. It's Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec. There you go.
I get those three confused constantly. Parks and Rec. He was good in Guardians. He was great in Jurassic World. I can't think of a thing that he's been in that I didn't like his performance.
He's gonna be a cowboy in the Magnificent Seven in a week or two.
So I mean, it's Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he's awesome.
As much as I'm bagging on it for being a stupid reboot of the series, I'm gonna go watch it because Chris Pratt. Now if he's not in it, then I'm gonna be pissed and I'm not gonna see the third one.
I call that a sequel reboot, the same way The Force Awakens is a sequel reboot.
I mean,
because it's following the events of something that happened before.
Right, but it
also has that let's retell the original story again,
but
just
with
later
characters
on.
Yeah. Which I call a franchise reboot for that reason, because then they can go, oh, you liked it when we remade the original? Let's remake the second one, and let's remake the third one.
Just why I wouldn't mind a remake of The Empire Strikes Back.
I mean, that's basically gonna be episode 8.
Yeah. We're gonna get a revelation of who's someone's family member.
Ooh. It's Ray and Luke.
Who's Gray's father? We got one for Luke Skywalker, one for Han Solo, and the other one's for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Your announcer voice needs some work.
I know. Sorry.
I started doing one, then I started calling. That's a bad omen. That's a bad omen too. I'm not doing a voice now. My throat's been killing me all weekend, dude.
Oh man, that sucks.
But what else we got?
So talking about J.A. Bayona, great director. His movie A Monster Calls, which is, I mean, it's one of those movies about, kid is dealing with grief, but there's a monster that helps him tell some stories about how to deal with it, and the monster's it looks like Groot. It's Groot. It's with Liam Neeson's voice.
It's tree monster. Okay, so you've taken Vin Diesel, put him into a tree costume, and then gave him Liam Neeson's voice.
Yes.
This sounds like the greatest thing that has ever happened in the history of movies.
And well, I'm pissed that they moved the movie from October to December because you just want to get an Oscar, which is okay.
I get
it. But why did you have to move it? I wanted to see it. God damn it. Anyways, movie's great. Movie's getting like wonderful, like 100% Rotten Tomatoes type of reviews. It doesn't have that many right now, but everyone is loving it because it just aired in one of the film festivals. Another movie that just did the same thing was Arrival, which has Lois Lane going to an alien landing, trying to contact some aliens.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, and it looks really cool, right?
It looks really cool. I don't know what to make of it because it looks like it might be kind of a horror thriller thing, or then it might be a sci-fi mystery. I don't know which one scares me more because I'm gonna be on the edge of my seat.
Well, that movie is also getting like rave reviews. Like it also like those two. You don't look at them as Oscar bait. Like they look like just regular movies that you just want to release, right?
Right.
But these like sci-fi and fantasy movies, in essence, are now contenders for Best Picture.
What? When did critics start liking fantasy? What the fuck?
Well, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King got all the Oscars.
Yeah.
And that was just an explosion of fantasy.
Hey, yo, if we're gonna go back to fantasy, can someone remake Aragon the movie and make it good, please? That book series was my childhood, and seeing the movie made me very, very sad because of how fucking terrible it was.
Yep.
And then make the second and third, and then make a fourth one because they're always coming. Actually, I think there are 4 books. So yeah, make the all 4 and split the last one into 5, or into 2, so you can have 5. A quintilogy. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yep. So I mean, it's good. It's good. I mean, I really like the idea of having just not the same slavery movie. The
white guilt trip.
The immigrant comes to America movie.
White guilt trip.
The disabled person deals with something movie. It's just the same.
Not white guilt trip for once. It's ableist guilt trip. That affects everybody. Yay. Why are Oscar movies always so fucking depressing?
They are, and like, please, for the first time, please have a movie. At least a movie that's different, like Arrival and The Monster Calls, which are definitely not the drama that you want, but actually have essences of sci-fi and of fantasy in them that could I don't know, that are just great stories.
This brings up a question I've been meaning to ask you for a while. After the superhero craze is over, what do you think is going to be the next like big genre that everyone wants to do for money?
I don't know.
Because we've seen in the 50s, we've seen the thrillers, 70s solid slasher flicks. We've kind of moved on up and through. 90s and the 2000s were pretty much nothing but action. Now, in the 2010s, we've seen a lot of superhero movies coming out. That's basically been the norm. What does 2020 hold? What do you see us going to next? Because I feel like a return to fantasy might be coming. Because we're kind of... Ooh, wow. My voice just didn't want to be normal there. I kind of see a return to fantasy just because between The Hobbit coming out and doing alright, the Hunger Games trilogy coming out, doing alright, except for the last one, which no one cared about. Fucking Divergent, except for being turned into a movie. Alright, excluding the endings of a lot of these things that I'm talking about, they've been well received. The first and the second ones are usually well received. The other one kind of does something stupid, but we've seen fantasy is working. People like it. People are going to see it. Do you think that after what was the monster one called?
Monster Calls.
Monster Calls. That was close. After Monster Calls, do you see us going back to more of a fantasy style of storytelling? If that, or the Arrival one, if either of those win an Oscar, do you think that directors and studios are going to go and look at that and go, hey, we could do fantasy again?
See, I don't know. I think fantasy is tricky. Fantasy is very tricky. Because you gotta have a very well developed world for it. Or else you're just screwed. Can't make it. But I think sci-fi could actually work really well.
You think we can go back to sci-fi? I mean,
I know. I think we could go to a point where we could have a pretty nice coexistence of fantasy and sci-fi. Because
I'd be okay with that. Alright, so full disclosure, I'm a huge fantasy nerd. I love anything fantasy. I love fantasy movies, books, whatever. So that's why I'm asking. Is like I enjoy superhero movies.
Yeah.
They're great. They're what everyone's doing. They're fun to watch. But it's gonna end eventually, right? Like we don't watch slasher flicks anymore because that was the thing that they loved them back then, but they're kind of over now. And superhero movies are great now. We love them, but they're gonna end at some point. Yeah, studios like Marvel, they have movies into like 2025, but I don't know how long people are going to continue watching them.
Yeah.
I think at the turn of the decade, it's gonna be like 2020 is gonna be the point where people go, all right, what's next?
Or maybe we just revert to animation.
That'd be pretty sweet too. Seeing a bunch of animated movies.
Because Disney and Pixar are doing some pretty good job lately, and Kubo was amazing.
Oh yeah, that was.
Wasn't that pretty amazing?
Oh no, I'm thinking something else. Never mind. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so maybe we could get that. Maybe we're gonna live in an era with Incredibles movies.
I'll be okay with the next Incredibles already.
Yep.
All right. We've arrived. We've gone for what? Just under 30 minutes. So we're gonna call it here. Thanks for watching. Tune in later this week, and we'll talk about some video games and probably Pokemon Go. Hopefully, we'll have the update by then. But
please.
Oh, did you put
Is
it?
Yes, it's up.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Undertale went up last weekend. That was part 3, I think.
Yep.
So check out 4. So check out those. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.